$4,000 in less than 2 hours. Stay tuned as I give the full breakdown of this trade and how you can catch opportunities like this in the future. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're doing well. We are on the charts and we are on gold. And let's break down exactly how I was able to catch $4,000 in 2 hours. Now, what we'll be doing first is top-down analysis to see where we were in the market, what I was seeing, and what allowed me to catch this move. So let's go to the weekly just to get a good perspective of where we were. So going all the way back to when gold got to this area of support over here. Once we got to this area of support, and this is on a weekly level, now we wanted to see if this would just be a correction to a certain level with a continuation back downwards, or if it would be a complete reversal. Now, if we go down to the daily, let's take a look. So as gold rebounded over here and we got to this level right over here, we got somewhat of a continuation downwards. However, we got back to this area of support over here and we were unable to break this area of support. So as we got to this area of support here and we were unable to break it, now all I wanted to see to confirm the reversal was for this previous high to be broken. Once this previous high would be broken, a solid break above this area of resistance over here, then I believed that we would be able to fill the entire gap on the left hand side. Not necessarily the gap, but the entire range on the left hand side. Okay, so as this broke and we had a solid close on the daily, now my perspective completely shifted to taking buys on gold because it was a definitive uptrend. Okay, so now as we go to lower time frames, we see plenty of opportunities to be able to enter these trades. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can trade this. There's ways to trade this in support and resistance, and there's also ways to trade this simply by structure. If we're looking at structure, first of all, we get a big impulsive move, and this is the move that really came out and confirmed that we are on an uptrend. So we get this big move here, and then we get a retest. And there are a couple of ways that you can catch this particular move. In this particular move, after the retest is over, you can catch it towards the bottom, and your validation for catching it right over here is because this area over here, if we move to the left-hand side, was a previous area of resistance that turned into support. So this would have been a very solid trade to the upside, up to the next level over here. And that was about 300 pips of a move. So definitely a solid move to the upside. However, there's also ways to catch this in terms of support and resistance. Once this area of resistance would have been broken, all we would do is drop down to a lower time frame. So we're looking for this candle here, this area on a lower time frame. If we drop down to a lower time frame, we would see an opportunity to be able to enter this trade. So right over here, we get to the lower time frame, we break, we get a solid break. As the candlestick comes back to touch this area of support and still has its bullish pressure, we enter our trade for a quick scalp, and that can also bring a great trade, bringing over 100 pips from one zone to the other. Okay, so now the trade of interest that happened on a Friday, end of the week, the trade of interest. So let's use our replay. We were right around this area over here Friday morning. We're right around this area over here. And what was important for me was that as we got to this area of resistance, this major area of resistance, what is price going to do? Is price going to respect this area of resistance and drop one more time to this level over here, or give a very big drop? Or is it going to break through this area of resistance and give us a further push to the upside and finally fill in the range that we had to the left-hand side? Now, what was important for me is that I knew exactly when price was breaking this area of resistance, because if we look to the left-hand side, from this area, there was no major areas of support. So I had a feeling that if we were able to break this area of resistance, we would be pushing all the way up to that main area of resistance over here. So as we go and we play out what happened, let's play what happened over here. Very good. So we got a break in this area, And then if we break this down, if we go down to lower time frames, so after getting a break, you have one candle that closes, and then you enter on the second candle, and you're able to ride this trade all the way out. Now, that's how you would catch it in terms of a market execution. I personally had a buy stop on it. So I had a buy stop that activated at 1940, and I rolled that all the way to 1950, 400 pips on 4 lots, giving $4,000. So when you're using buy stops, they should be in areas where there are clean ranges, okay? So obviously if we're breaking out of a zone, whether it be support or resistance, and you want to use a buy stop just in case you may miss it, be sure that you have plenty of range to the left-hand side. In other words, what I'm saying is be sure you don't have any areas of support and resistance of reference to the left-hand side so that it doesn't necessarily interrupt that move that's happening for your buy stop or even your sell stop. Okay, but a buy stop is what was activated, and as that buy stop got activated, I took a look at the trade. Trade looked very good. Much volume was being pumped into the market, and I was completely fine letting that go, letting it run for the 400 pips, and that was it. And to be honest, it ran for more than 100 pips. Gold went all the way up to 1960 area, so went for over 200 pips. But ultimately, we have completely filled this entire range that was on the left hand side. So all of that damage that was done for that sell has been completed, and now we're at an area where if we break this area of resistance over here, this is a huge move to the upside, because it looks like if we break through, we can go to our next area of resistance, which approaches 2,000. All right, and for those who follow gold and those who trade gold religiously, we know that when gold hits 2,000, it is definitely a big deal, because it has not been there that much. Okay, it's been there maybe a couple times, but this would be the most recent time as of late, and it looks like we are on target to get there so long as we can break through from this area of resistance over here. So we're gonna see what happens. Next week is coming, and we're gonna see if we can break through, or if we get some kind of correction, or maybe even some kind of reversal. But this was a great move. You just have to be patient, and maybe it's not $4,000, maybe it's $400, or maybe it's $40, but the moves are the same. If you're able to read and understand market structure, if you're able to understand support and resistance, these basic concepts, then you will catch these same moves. Then at that point, it's just a matter of capital. Once you get that capital, the numbers will be exactly the same. But what you should be practicing is the mastery of understanding market structure, as well as the mastery of understanding support and resistance. So simple move, not complicated, but you need to understand things from a higher time frame perspective and how we break it down to a lower time frame. And ultimately, if you continue to do those things and continue to work on them, you will continue to see profits as well. All right, so I hope you guys gain value in this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, Jordan the Maestro, peace.